definitely didn't do enough, and that's one of my regrets also. I'm like, I know.
Hi, you are tuning into Moon Apothecary Radio, Green Room Bites, and we are live, broadcasting live at Myrtle Wombat, a mini mart in Brooklyn, New York, which is on Lenape traditional lands. I'm here today with Sarah from Nomi Crunch.
Hello.
Hey, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It was a surprise for you to join
A good
us.
surprise, though.
Yeah. And I'm really excited to get to know you and your product, which is Nomi Crunch. Could you introduce Nomi Crunch?
Totally. So I'm Sarah, founder of Nomi Crunch, an Asian-inspired protein granola brand crafted here in New York City. It is 50 grams of protein in a bag with only 5 grams of sugar per serving. So as a food scientist, I was really careful about what type of ingredients I added in my formula. So after a lot of R&Ding in the kitchen, I came up with 4 flavors: strawberry matcha, black sesame, chocolate hojicha, and Earl Grey yuzu, all unique in its own way, but all tied to my heritage.
Lovely. All tied to your heritage. And what heritage?
I'm Japanese.
Awesome. Okay, great. So yeah, you have flavors here: black sesame, strawberry matcha, chocolate hojicha, and Earl Grey yuzu that you mentioned. And you grew up with these flavors, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Were these common breakfast flavors for you, or?
Some of them were. Black sesame, for example. We really use black sesame paste on toast. That's really nostalgic to me, as going to Japan every summer. My grandma would prepare that for us for breakfast. Matcha is also a very strong presence growing up. My mom would also make us matcha teas, hot, of course, hojicha as well. And then yuzu, recently we started using like yuzu marmalade, and even drying the yuzu peels and eating it as a snack.
No.
That's
Those
becoming
appeal.
that's becoming just like ube. Yuzu, I feel like, was the flavor of the summer last summer, and we have so many yuzu flavored products right now, and people just gravitate. If they see yuzu, they buy it.
Yeah, it's really booming.
Oh, that's, well, yeah, it's like vitamin C, right? Or
Yeah,
what do you say?
it's a citrus, so yes, yes,
okay.
definitely.
Okay. Interesting. Sometimes I wonder about like how people gravitate towards foods that are their body is craving, like they're a little bit deficient. And then very naturally will be like, I want to have something with vitamin C in it, and then they'll buy it. So I wonder if I should probably buy some, because there's like a cold going around apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in our Earl Grey yuzu, I use 100% yuzu juice powder, so you're definitely getting some of that real yuzu in there.
Cool. Okay. So one thing that I was wondering about for this is that your product it's gluten-free oats, which oats are always, there's no gluten in oats, but there's always cross-contamination possibilities because of the facility that it may be coming from, right? The wheat, sometimes wheat and barley can cross over into the oat supply. So yours is like certified gluten-free.
Yeah.
Yeah? No.
Yeah, I tested it, third party tested. I was very careful about making sure it was gluten-free, just because I have friends that are gluten-free. And when developing this, I did get that question a lot of, are your products gluten-free? So I wanted to make it more widely available to the masses and have it gluten-free.
Okay. Great. And then also I learned that your product has maple syrup as a sweetener rather than, like cane sugar or white sugar or corn, high fructose corn syrup or any of that kind of stuff. Honey. Why maple syrup compared to, like, let's say honey or something?
Yeah, so I use organic pure maple syrup. In terms of like my formulation, it's easier to mix in just because with the grass-fed whey protein isolate I use in my granola for as the protein source, it's not as sticky, it mixes in well, and it really helps me pack down the granola to give it that crunchy bite that you get from it.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'm curious about the whey protein that is in your product. So, can you tell us a little bit about that? There's the 10 grams?
Right. Yeah. So 10 grams per serving, 50 grams total. So there's 5 grams or 5 servings in a bag. I use grass-fed whey protein isolate because in the beginning I was really making the granola for myself. And I really wanted to use high quality ingredients. And I came across grass-fed whey protein isolate after doing a lot of research. It's the highest quality protein. It's also great for lactose sensitive people, as there's virtually no lactose in the protein powder. So I started R&Ding with it, and it didn't really give me that chalky aftertaste that you also get from some of the other whey proteins. So yeah, that's how.
Chalky. That's a
That's how I
good way to
started
put
using
it. Yeah.
When I say protein or whey, I'm always cautious. I like brace myself for that flavor. And then when I tried your granola, I didn't get that. So I was like, oh, okay, I can like actually just munch on this and not have that, that like chalk flavor at the end of eating, and like have that weird flavor
Right.
afterwards.
Well, thank you. That's a huge compliment. That was the goal.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I recently learned about, well, for myself is that I need to eat more protein. Because I was swimming the other day. I started going to the public pool, which they have like lane hours for people to drop in, but you have to pay like a membership fee for the whole year. So it's not like a free pool. Like you have to pay to use the facility. And this is something I only started last week. And on my first day of swimming, I started getting a cramp along my legs. And I couldn't, oh my gosh, it was like I was paralyzed. I was a Charlie horse. Yeah, I was like paralyzed. And I couldn't swim back to the wall. And I'm swimming with a lot of people who are in their middle ages. So I was kind of with a lot of adults who were concerned, I guess, because I'm like a young person, and well, young-ish, relatively. And like I'm in my 30s, and I couldn't even like move. And so I sat along the wall of the pool, and a few of them were like, you need to eat more protein. Yeah. Like they were like, you need to eat more protein. I was like, I thought that I was personally. So Nomi Crunch has kind of come into my life at a good time because
I'm glad.
Yeah, I don't eat a lot of meat as my protein source. And I am slowly going back to it. But yeah, this is something that is kind of like a nicer vehicle or vessel for protein that is also, it has everything in it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. I really started making it for myself because I was tired of drinking protein shakes, trying to find other ways to incorporate protein into my diet.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to think about my daily routine. I eat granola every morning. I also found a gap in the market for flavors. So I incorporated everything that I wanted in a granola.
Yeah.
And that's how I came about the formula.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, that is great. Thank you so much, actually. Yeah. I'm going to bring this along with me next time I go. And I might start offering it to people because
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And
It's a good
although
vehicle.
like protein seems like it is a trend, it is very important for your diet. So
I actually don't think it's a trend. I think it's from everything, seeing where CPG is going right now, and all of there are some trendy protein things like that man cereal, right? And but protein, because of where the government, how our government has changed the food pyramid, and really is focusing more on protein. It's really something that's going to be here for a long time, and a lot of people, and especially with the GLP-1
Right.
folks, who apparently everybody is on a GLP-1 nowadays. They need more protein because they are not eating, and they're tired of the shakes as well. It's not like they want to drink an Ensure every single day. So all of these great products are coming out and bringing variety into your diets, bringing flavors that, you know, you crave and you want to eat. Yeah, so I actually wouldn't say it was a trend. I think it's more of like definitely something that will bring your brand into the future for for where we're going as like emerging brands in CPG.
Yeah. Yeah. It's brilliant. Yeah. I'm really, like I said, very happy that it's now available at the shop. So I'll be able to buy it myself on my way out. And I'm going to be like, nomming on these. And what's so great about the packaging, I wanted to bring up your packaging because it's bright, but it's also very clear, like what it is. You know, like you immediately see it's granola, okay? And you even see what it looks like on the inside, which I love. Like a window into it, a pinhole, kind of glancing into what's inside. And then also the colors, they're related to the ingredients that are inside of it. So that's wonderful. And what I've noticed about granola brands is that they're not simple to read. But I don't want to compare. Every brand is different. Every brand has a different story. But I do have to say that this is the easiest for me to understand what is happening with this product. And it doesn't get lost in the aisle. That's really what it is that it can't get lost in the aisle as much as other products. Let me show you examples real quick. So, for example, we have all of these are products that are very popular, right? We have like Purely Elizabeth, Jamie's Farm, this new one that's plant protein from Sahara. I don't know if you've heard of Sahara, but
I have. I've seen it online before, not on shelves.
Mm-hmm. And then there's also Tom's Perfect 10. That one was on the list of 2025 best granola.
His wife is the fashion person for Instagram.
Okay.
So he had instant fans because of her. She has like, I don't know how many followers, but
right. Okay.
His granola is very good. It's the other thing with granola that I think sets yours apart, Sarah, is granola not necessarily that healthy. A lot of these brands are, if you look at the back panel, it's a lot of sugar and it's actually a lot of fat. But
what's the fat from usually? Is it from like oils?
I think it's
It's
oil.
usually the oils.
Oh, okay. Alrighty.
Because they do add, because they need that. Yeah, I actually don't. I mean, when I made granola, I was kind of astounded at like the recipes that they had. And I made this like 10 years ago. I was astounded by how much butter and oil was required to make it. And yeah, I was kind of like, whoa, there's actually a lot of fat in here. Not necessarily always good fat, right? Because they're like vegetable oils. And again, these are recipes from like 10 years ago. So
Right.
it's definitely changed. But yeah, looking at the back panel for Nomi Crunch, it's healthy. Like it's actually like healthy fats and not too much sugar because of the maple syrup. And maple syrup is more, what's the glycemic level is lower,
It's
right?
lower, yeah.
Which is really helpful. Instead of just cane sugar, which a lot of
Right.
or brown sugar.
Right, brown sugar. Mm-hmm. And you're a food scientist, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were developing your brand, your products, we'll go back to that. So it's like when you were developing your product, was that something that you thought of? Was kind of like the what I guess like what were the main priorities in terms of health when you were developing it?
Yeah. So again, like I said, I was developing it for myself in the beginning. And so tied to my product development knowledge, I tried to develop something that was not only healthy and nutritious, but also great tasting. Because I know a lot of the products in the market were too sugary for me. The flavors didn't really fit my palate, it was too low in protein. And so, just combining my knowledge and innovation, in addition to making sure it tasted good for myself, really, because it was just at the beginning. That's how I really came up with the product. So, in terms of the nutrition as well, and the fat, the sugar, like keeping all that low, and trying to get the perfect formula while not overdoing one macro over the other. And also making sure that there was a crunch factor in it too, because I know a lot of people like crunch.
The texture.
And yeah, I really am a texture person. So yeah.
Is there like a size? I'm curious, like, is there like a perfect size for you for a granola? Because like, you know how everybody has like a preference for different sizes for anything, you know, like whether it be, is there, what is the perfect bite of a granola?
If it were up to me, I would like a whole sheet of just one huge chunk, because I am such like a chunky granola person. But there are times when I do appreciate like the crumbs and like pouring the remaining bits on top of a yogurt. So
Yeah.
I could go both
Or ice
ways.
cream or something
For the
like that.
most part, I am more of a chunky granola person.
Got
I
it, like
actually
a bar.
can't eat yogurt without granola. Because the texture's too, I don't know, it's too thick. It's too, I always need to put some sort of granola, some sort of texture in with it in order for me to just eat yogurt.
I'm with you with that. Yeah. I typically throw on like a lot of seeds, and I'll put on, you know, some like chia seeds or something like that, and then a fruit. Like I always will put cut fruit into my yogurt. Yeah. So, but this now is going to be like a new one for me. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, Sarah. Okay. Well, thank you for listening. If you're tuning in to Green Room Bites, and we hope to see you next Saturday. We may have another one.
Oh, we have so one more thing of Nomi Crunch. We are their first retailer.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really
Thank you.
exciting. Please come here to purchase. And then next week, next Saturday, we have Bridge West Bakery that will be here on Saturday. And then Sunday, we actually have a ticketed event for Claire's Eco Dye class. So link in
Yes.
bio in our Instagram bio for tickets for that.
And that one's exciting because there will be a Green Room Bites before that episode. Before that event. Sorry, my brain. But so stay tuned. That may be happening on a Wednesday as opposed to Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Green Room Bites with her, because we are experimenting with coloring and dyeing food.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
Okay.
with natural dyes.
Great.
All right.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you for having me.